coverage begins now on KISS 102.7 WCKS Fruiters Carrollton.
All right,
this
well,
is an exclusive sports presentation of Granite Communications.
The Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show is on the air.
Brought to you by Inoventive Benefits Consulting, the fuel that powers Georgia's employer health benefits.
Also brought to you in part by
Deep South Roofing, Amy Brown, State Farm Insurance, Brown's Pools and Spas, Evergreen Tree Service, John Thornton Buick GMC, Rainwater Funeral Home, Burt Disposal, and Addison Smith Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Now, let's set the table for tonight's action.
As we take you live to Grisham Stadium on the campus of Carrollton High School.
Here's your host of the Tailgate Show,
Jay Webb.
Wow, I have my own
Intro.
Wow, Jay Webb. I wasn't
Pretty
expecting
impressed.
that one. Hey, man. Welcome to the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show. We are week 1 of the state playoffs. My name is Jay Webb. I am joined with the coach, David Thrower. We are doing this duo tonight. Mike Parrish is calling a basketball game over at Jacksonville State. And so, man, we got a lot to talk about. There's nothing like Friday Night Lights. But
Mike who? He lost his spot on here.
Mike lost his spot.
He lost his intro.
Yeah.
It's Jay Webb all the way, baby.
He's lost his intro. I got my own intro now. I feel special. So honored to do this, man. It's nothing quite like Friday Night Lights during playoff time, Coach. Tell me what you're thinking right now.
Listen, I'm telling you, you start out in January lifting them weights, and you're in the weight room constantly 3, 4, 5 days a week. You're doing workout plyometrics. You're out in the gym. You're running. You're on the track. You're conditioning. It leads all the way up into May where you start your installs, your spring practice. In June, you're rolling into your 7-on-7s. You're still working that strength and conditioning. You're hitting your OTAs in July and the acclimation week. Scrimmages, regular season, non-region games, hit the region, and you're doing it all for right now, this moment. We got a 5-game season. All you got to do is go 1-0 5 times, and you're there climbing the mountain. So that's the goal. You got to win in advance or survive in advance or however you want to put it.
Right.
But, hey, it's all about it. And we got 9 out of 9 teams. And I don't know that this has ever been done before.
I was going to say, I don't know that it has. We are covering 9 teams tonight from our West Georgia area. Man, that's something really to be proud of.
Absolutely.
If you live in West Georgia, and I want to give you that real quick, our non-broadcast games tonight will be Bremen at Pepperell, Temple at Toombs County, East Lauren at Heard County, and then Trutland County at Mountain Zion. So those are the ones that will not be on the radio station. But then we will have on King Country 93.7 and 101.9, Tex and Hayden Coker will be covering the Social Circle and Haralson County game. On Great Classics 98.9, Seth and Michael Miller will be covering the Tucker at Central game. Our boys Britt and Doc will be with their Bowden Red Devils as the Wilcox County comes to town. That'll be on B92 Country. And then right here at Grisham Stadium, the Carrollton Crew welcoming back Mr. Cade Perrion tonight. Praise God, he is back. God's taking care of him. So grateful. Just ran into Matt Skinner, and so he's getting to run around and do his regular job duties tonight. And so right here, you will hear Cade Perrion and the Larry Evans call the North Forsyth at Carrollton game, and that's going to be on KISS 102.7. So a full slate tonight. We're going to be giving you a Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. We are going to be diving into brackets. There's so much to talk about, and so, man, I cannot wait to get in it. Just right off the bat, let's talk about this. What game in this area, before we get into breakdowns of each one, what game sticks out to you the most?
Woo! I tell you what, I'm going to say Bowden and Wilcox.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying that is Wilcox comes in as a 4 seed, and people think, well, this is going to be a mismatch. But Wilcox is not your normal 4 seed. They were in a 3-way tie for second. And from what I understand, I talked to some people that coach in that region this week. They lost one close one to clinch by a touchdown early in the season, non-region. They beat ECI, who's a 2 seed in their region. Then Wilcox gets into region play. Lost the first game to Trutland, who's Mount Zion's opponent tonight. Made some personnel changes, changed some things schematically, got on a roll toward the end of the season. They lost to the undefeated Wheeler County team in 5 overtimes. So Wilcox is going to come in here tonight expecting to win. They got a tradition there too, much like Bowden. They take pride in their football, just like Bowden. They have a big fan base. They're going to have a good crowd coming. And when those kids get off the bus, they're going to have some good football players, and they'll be well coached. So I think that has the chance to be a good 1-4 game. You don't always get a lot of good 1-4 games in the first round of the state playoff bracket, but I think that's got a chance to be a competitive game.
That's good. And you know what's not only 9 teams in the West Georgia area playing tonight, but then 2 of the first round playoff games in our area are actually rematches from earlier in the year, and you don't see that often.
No, that's unique.
But Bremen and Pepperell playing each other. They're in the same region, so they know each other very well. They play all the same teams, and then you've got Northgate and Villa Rica. Man, that was a close game at the start of the year. So
12-9.
12-9, and so I like that. But I think the game I'm looking forward to most, and I think will be a really good football game. Kudos to Haralson County for getting a host.
Absolutely.
Man, they slid in there. Obviously Division I in Single A is on the power rankings, and so, man, they slid in at the 16th seed. But what that means is they're playing the 17th seed. And so, man, all the numbers right there line up. But I know the Rebels are going to be fired up to host a playoff game, and so Rebel Nation will be rocking and rolling up there tonight.
They'll
at Taylor
be there.
Memorial Stadium.
And they hadn't been in the playoffs in about 4 years now.
Yeah.
I think since probably 21 or probably the 21 season, I believe. So, yes, those people are going to be excited about it. The Tallapoosa, they come out and support the Rebels.
They do.
So
they
I really think
Rebels.
that'll be big. And I'll tell you tonight, I thought about this earlier. With all 9 teams in, you know how people – because you always get 2 or 3 teams that don't get in the playoffs.
That's right.
We play good football here. We always have. But this 9 out of 9 is rare. Rare for us. But you get people always make that politically correct statement. Well, we're out of it, but when we get beat, I always pull for so-and-so. Well, you ain't got to tell that lie no more. Your team's still playing. So whatever team you care about, which you're a fan of one of these 9 teams, if you're listening to this show, you're a fan of one of those 9, you get to pull for your team tonight in the playoffs, and they win, you get to pull for them again next week.
That's right.
You ain't got to be politically correct now. You just say, hey, I'm all about my game. I don't care what happens over there.
We are in the middle of November. And we came off last week. Obviously, you didn't hear our radio faces last week, but with the bye week in GHSA, so man, we're in the middle of November and we got 9 teams playing. So that's pretty incredible. You still got something to do on Friday nights around here.
Absolutely, and the weather's great tonight too. So you need to get out. 6 games in the area at home tonight in this area. We got from all the way from Tallapoosa down to Franklin, and we got 4 more in between there. So let's get out and support. Let's get out and get to a game wherever you're at. Support these kids tonight and these coaches. Get out there and be part of that crowd and part of that excitement. And I don't think you regret it.
Absolutely, and you said it earlier, man. When we kicked this thing off, this is goal number 1 in the football season.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, when you start lifting weights in January, if you don't get to the dance, you ain't got a chance to win the dance.
Sir.
And so, man, every team here got into the dance, and that's something fun, and that's going to be fun to be a part of tonight. So, hey, you're listening to the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show, brought to you by Inoventive Benefits Consulting in Bremen and Villa Rica, the benefits consultant beyond the status quo. Also brought to you by Deep South Roofing. Don't be taken advantage of by these out-of-town roofers. Trust the only hometown roofing company. From inspection, repairs, replacements, and insurance claims, serving our local community in West Georgia and East Alabama. Deep South Roofing. Dedicated, dependable, and proud sponsors of high school sports. So you're watching it here. We're going to begin to get into the Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. Now, we know we're not in region anymore, but, man, we get to talk about a West Georgia region tonight, and, man, we got a lot to talk about. So, Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. At Carrollton City Schools, we expect excellence in every person, every program, and in every performance. We go for gold. Carrollton City Schools, we are the standard of achievement, innovation, service, and success. Want to see why? Schedule a tour today. So let's jump into this, man. There's a lot to break down. Let's start with Bremen and Pepperell. Let's just go there. Bremen has a rematch tonight. Tell me a little bit about what you're thinking on that game, Coach.
Well, here's the thing, and we were talking earlier before the show. If I'm Bremen, I don't mind this matchup.
Yeah.
Because Pepperell got us earlier, but it was close. 21-10 game. Could have gone either way. 3 or 4 plays usually make a difference in those type games. Didn't go Bremen's way. Now Bremen's getting another shot at the same team.
Yep.
And Bremen had a little lull there toward the middle part of the second half of the season. Had some injuries, had some guys out. They're back at pretty much full strength from what I understand. Going up to Pepperell, it's a short trip. So they should have a big crowd there from Bremen there to support them. I mean, it's probably 30 minutes, maybe 25. To Lindale from Bremen, so they're going to have a big crowd there. Should be a great atmosphere. But I really think Bremen and the matchup they're in and the bracket they're in, I feel like they got a chance to surprise some people. Because,
That's right.
Right now, hey, you may say 5-5 by your name, but right now you're 0-0. Everybody's undefeated because it's a brand new season. So with them playing Pepperell again, obviously Pepperell's a good football team. But if I'm Bremen, I don't mind this matchup at all. I think the Blue Devils got a good shot.
Yeah, you're right, and like you said, I mean it's gonna be a good crowd. 32.1 miles exactly from Bremen High School to Pepperell High School in Lindale, Georgia. So people from Bremen are going to travel tonight. You got a 5-5 Bremen team who's feeling, man, they feel like they're better than that. To be honest with you, they've got some good coaches, good team. 6-4 Pepperell, and you said it earlier. Right now, that meeting earlier in the year, Pepperell won that 21-10, and they were without Justin Faulkner that game.
That's right.
Justin got hurt the week before in the very first play of the game against Rabun County, and so man, I felt like Bremen was still trying to adjust to what that game plan would be without a very good Northern Illinois commit D1 wide receiver, and he's a big part of that offense.
Well, he's your guy.
He's your guy.
He's the guy you try to game plan to get the ball to in certain situations. And, they got other pieces. I'm not saying he's the only guy,
right,
but he is the guy. So having him tonight will make a huge difference in Bremen, offensively especially. Mm-hmm. So I really feel like Bremen will come up. They had 2 weeks to prepare.
Yep.
I just think it favors the team that lost the close game the first time. If you're a rematch in the playoff, I really think the team that – if you lost a close one the first time around, unless – injuries have just devastated you and all. I think when you come back the second time around, I think you got a good shot.
That's right. And, the score was 21-10, but I feel like it was probably 14-10 going into the fourth quarter somewhere. So it was super tight. And I'll say this, I mean, I may be a little biased. I love my guys over at Bremen. I've been with them for a long time now, but I believe in Coach Russell and that coaching staff.
Absolutely.
And they're playing somebody for the second time in a season, and they've had 2 weeks to prepare for it.
Yeah.
They're going to come out ready. What you're looking at, just a little history there. This is Bremen's 12th straight playoff appearance. Bremen made the second round most recently in 2023, and that's what they're looking to do tonight is get to round 2 to go 1-0 tonight. If they do that, like you said, a favorable side of the bracket right now. If they do that, they'll be taking on Gordon Central or Jasper County, and I think that's a winnable game. So right now they can't focus on that. They are focused on the Pepperell Dragons. I know that Coach Russell is focused on not hearing that doggone cannon go off in Lindale, Georgia. I know they don't want to see that dragon blowing smoke out of his mouth, and he wants to pitch a shutout tonight if he can, if I had to guess. So that's Bremen. They know what to do in the playoffs. They've been there before. Last year took a tough draw in Commerce. I was with them on that one, this is a much more winnable game in my opinion.
Well, and two, I tell you what else stands out to me when you said Bremen's been in the playoffs 12 years. Well, I believe this is Coach Russell's 10th year.
Yeah.
So they've been in the playoffs every single year he's been the head coach.
Yep.
Their kids are used to playing an extended season.
Yep.
And Pepperell didn't go to the playoffs last year. They were 2-8, and now the new coach came in last year, his first year. Obviously you got to try to find where your pieces are. You got to build. Obviously they're a much better football team this year, but Bremen's been to the playoffs more often and more recently than Pepperell has.
Yep.
So a lot of times in the playoffs, the teams that succeed are the ones that want to continue to play.
That's right.
Because, hey, practice, like we're talking about, you started in January. And it's human nature sometimes for kids, they're all 14 to 18-year-old. And they're all going through life stuff. They're all going through school stuff. They're all going through things at home. And sometimes their focus is not always where you want it to be. And as a coach, you're trying to rally your guys up. You're trying to get them back grounded, trying to get them back in the right direction. But as far as Bremen goes, if you're still wanting to play football, it's still in your heart that you want to keep playing, and you're not ready for it to be over with, I think you got a great shot.
That's right. And as you said, Pepperell, they did not make the playoffs last year. They did make the playoffs in 2023. The last time they actually went from the Freeman's average score, 27-19 against the 31st hardest schedule in Class A Division I, while Pepperell's average score is 33-24 against the 21st hardest schedule in Class A Division I. And so when you look at that, you're looking Pepperell's probably been a little more field tested this year, a little bit harder schedule possibly. But, man, I do think this is going to be a good game. Maxwell ratings projection, we haven't been given picks this year, but if we're going to give somebody else's pick, that way we don't get in trouble by anybody. Maxwell projection has got Pepperell winning by 6. I don't believe it. I'm believing in my Blue Devils tonight and hoping they make a trip down to Jasper County next week. So you are listening to the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show under the Deep South Roofing broadcast tent. We're going to take a break right here. When we get back, we're going to break down more of the Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. We'll catch you in a few.
What if you could turn your healthcare expense into a competitive advantage? At Inoventive Benefits Consulting, we engineer benefit strategies that cut costs by 30 to 40% without cutting the quality your employees deserve. Put control back in your hands. Stop overpaying. Start outperforming. Let's make your healthcare plan work for you, not against you. Call 678-821-3508 today. Inoventive Benefits Consulting. Smarter benefits. Stronger bottom line.
Are you tired of these out-of-town roofers knocking at your door? Are you tired of seeing their cheap signs on every corner? These companies have sold their souls to the big private equity companies and are not here to help you with your roof. They just want your money. Stay local with West Georgia and East Alabama's most trusted roofing company, Deep South Roofing Company. Whether your job is commercial or residential, put your faith in a company that invests in your local community. For more, visit DeepSouthRoofingCompany.com.
We're going out tonight.
But I just put on my comfy pants. What are we celebrating?
I just bundled our home and auto insurance with State Farm agent Amy Brown and saved us money.
Oh, nice. But can't we just order in?
Are you serious? We just bundled, and she helped me personalize our coverage.
But what about my slipper and sweatpants bundle?
Contact State Farm agent Amy Brown at 678-840-5000 to bundle and save today.
Prices may vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability, amount of discounts, savings, and eligibility may vary.
Feast your eyes on the season's most aggressive offers during the Feast of Savings at John Thornton Buick GMC. Double up a new GMC Sierra 2500 HD Denali with $12,000 off MSRP, or a new Buick Envision $6,000 off MSRP. Take $4,000 off MSRP on the new Buick Envista, or a new GMC Yukon XL with $8,000 off MSRP at John Thornton Buick GMC in Carrollton. GMC, we are professional grade. Now, let's get back to the Tailgate Show with our broadcast crew under the Deep South Roofing Company broadcast tent.
All right. Welcome back to the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show under the Deep South Roofing broadcast tent. Also sponsored by Addison Smith Mechanical Contractor, Amy Brown State Farm, Brown's Pools and Spas, John Thornton Cadillac Buick GMC, Pert Disposal Services, Rainwater Funeral Home, and Evergreen Tree Services. Hey, if you have a comment or a question you want to put on our Facebook page or YouTube, feel free to do so. We had a question about what time the Bowden game starts. That's 7:30 tonight. I believe all of our games are 7:30 tonight. And then also a comment that says, "Let's pop Rebels." I guess that's a good new term. Let's pop. All right, you heard that before, Coach D2?
I like it. No, but I'm a little out of the loop. You know, I retired a couple years ago.
Right.
So
yeah, you're not hearing the lingo
I'm
in
not
the weight room
on top
these days.
of my game.
Okay.
I'm not bringing my A game like I used to.
I hear you. Well, hey, we are. We got a lot of games to break down tonight. We're going to keep on going right here with the Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. Carrollton City Schools, we are the standard for achievement, innovation, service, and success. Want to see why? Schedule a tour today. And so we are going to move to our Temple Tigers. Temple Tigers sitting at 5-5. They are the number 29 seed in the Class A Division I power rankings bracket. They are taking on the number 4 overall seed, Toombs County, that's sitting at 9-1. Temple is unranked, and Toombs County is ranked number 2 in the playoffs. I'd say this, Coach. Obviously, this is probably the toughest game of the night for our teams that are playing. So, what's your thoughts on this game right here?
Well, just so our listeners and our viewers understand, Toombs is the defending state champion in this division. Last year in the playoffs, game 13, 14, and 15, they had one game that was a 3-touchdown win, and the others were 35, 40 points. Mm-hmm. They still got all those same players. Now, those quarterback's gone. He went to Georgia State.
Right.
Receiver went to Florida, but they got other guys.
That's right.
A friend of mine's on the coaching staff down there, coach offensive line, defensive line, Isaac Farrell, and I talked to him earlier this week, and they're looking forward to this game. They have got a good thing going down at Toombs. They're big, strong, fast, physical. They're used to playing in the playoffs. They're experienced. For Temple, it's a measuring stick. You had this challenge last year in the second round when you went down to Thomasville. In smaller school football, sometimes, now they are exceptions, obviously. Bowden would be one of those exceptions. But sometimes in smaller school football, when you go down below Macon, it's a little different. And Temple still building a program. Coach Nix has done a good job out there. The staff's done a good job. They graduated a lot of players from last year, so they're not quite as explosive as they were last year, not quite as solid as they were last year. But they still had a decent year. Let a couple games get away. They probably feel like they should have won. So tonight, you're really playing this game, if you're Temple, for next year.
That's right.
You want to find out what your guys are doing going into next year, coming back. That don't mean you throw all your seniors on the sideline and don't let them play. But what I'm saying is it's a measure stick. You find out who's going to compete because you're going to have some adversity. They're going to have a loud, raucous crowd down in Lyons, Georgia, I promise you. I've been in that part of the world. I've been to games there before. It'll be a big crowd. It'll be a big atmosphere. And for Temple, go down there and just let it all hang out. You don't got nothing to lose because nobody's picking you to win this game. And there's no pressure.
Right.
So go out there and just cut it loose. And if you're a senior and this could possibly be your last game, go out and have fun.
That's right.
Go have fun. Let's go out there and let it on line. Let's see what we can do. You never know. Things happen. Strange things happen sometimes in these playoffs. The ball bounces a little weird. A couple plays go your way, something kind of off the wall, and all of a sudden, third quarter, you look up and you're in a game. And now who's the pressure on? The pressure's on them now. So go out there and just play. Play, be free, go loose, play hard, be physical, don't back down. You get knocked down, get back up, let's still snap it again.
That's right.
If you're Temple, that's got to be your mindset.
That's right. And you're, you again, it kind of said it about Bremen. You're not necessarily content with a 5-5 season.
No.
You want to see what you're made of. You got a long road. I mean, it's 188 miles to Toombs County.
There's no easy way to get there.
There ain't no easy way to get there. No. I'm sure they've been on the road most of the day.
Left at 8 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, left early this morning, had lunch somewhere, probably stopped at another school and got out and did their walkthroughs and all the things. And so, man, like you said, they got to get out. They got to show what they're made of. You got a little pride. Here's what you get to hang your hat on if you're a Temple Tiger right now. And this is incredible, right? Temple they've only been in the playoffs 11 times.
Yeah, they've been 4 years in a row.
And they've been 4 years in a row, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you've got some stuff going for you right there. You've drawn a tough first round, but, man, don't let the culture die off right here, man.
That's right.
Show that you want to fight. You've made it 4 years in a row. Last year, you made it to the second round, I think, for the first time ever.
Yes. Well, I think one other time.
Maybe one other time.
I think one other time. I think 05 maybe.
05, way long time ago.
Been a long time.
So yeah, don't fall off right here, man. Fight. You've deserved it. You've worked for it. You've been going since January. And so, man, we're pulling for the Tigers tonight and hoping that, man, they go down there and, like you said, man, lay it all out on the line and see what happens.
You got nothing to lose. Just go out and coach free, play hard.
That's right.
Play free, and let's hey, you're playing free football anyhow because nobody guarantees you this game on your schedule. When those schedules come out in Georgia High School come out with those schedules, they put them on the website. They didn't put down November 14th. They stopped at October 31st.
That's right.
So you're getting extra games now. So take that and, like I said, treat them 2 weeks you had this week to get prepared like another spring practice. See what your young guys can do and let your old guys go out there and if they have to finish their career tonight, let them go out with a bang.
You're right. All right, you're listening to the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show under the Deep South Roofing broadcast tent. We're going to continue to go in the Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. Let's move to East Lawrence at Heard County. East Lawrence sitting at 3-7. We just talked about possibly the toughest game in our area tonight. Now I think we move toward one of the games that one of our guys, the good guys, are probably favored in a big way. So you got East Lawrence 3-7. They are the 32 seed overall in the Division I playoff bracket, and Heard County at 10-0 with the number 1 seed. And that's a big deal in the playoffs because all these other people that don't have the power rankings right now, they got to think about a coin flip in round 3, and Heard don't. If they
keep winning, they ain't got no coin flip. They just keep playing at home.
They keep going, right?
They don't even have to get the travel arrangements out. They don't have to call anybody. Right. They're playing at home rest until you get to the final. You're playing at home all the way. So, yeah, I really feel like Heard's in good shape on this one. East Lawrence is in a good league.
Right.
They played some good teams this year. They've seen teams that are going to be built similar to Heard, but at the same time, can you be competitive if you're East Lawrence?
Right.
And they got that same long road trip. Matter of fact, I think Temple's doing their walkthrough at East Lawrence today on the way to Toombs.
Yep.
So now East Lawrence is coming toward this way to play Hurd.
That's right.
So I think Hurd tonight is you want to get out there and get those reps because you got more football left to play.
Right.
So let's get out there. Let's make you don't need to get on film anymore. You know what you guys can do.
Right.
So you need film obviously.
Yep.
Don't let me back up and say that.
Yep.
But you're not having to. You know what your players are capable of.
That's right.
Let's go out there. Let's get those the reps they need, and then let's get them off. Let's let the young guys get a little time, and let's get prepared for the next one. But just take care of business tonight. Handle it like a business. I say a business trip, but you're not going away. But it's a situation where you want to go out there and treat it like business. Come out there, play physical, establish your dominance early.
Yep.
Take over the kicking game, be dominant on defense, come off the ball on offense, finish those runs. Let's protect the quarterback, and let's let Tisdale and those guys have a big night because they're certainly capable of doing that against East Lawrence.
That's right. And just a little history here for you. This is East Lawrence's first playoff appearance since 2023. They have not made the second round of the playoffs since the year 2000. Coach, I was in high school in that time, so it's been a while. East Lawrence is 1-7 all time in the round of 32. That's enough about them. The Hurd County Braves, probably the stadium we're sitting in right now, with the Carrollton Trojans and the Hurd County Braves have been the most successful program. And then we got Bowden, obviously.
Most consistent.
Consistent program. Yeah. Bowden, obviously, not to take, 3 state going for the 4th in the last 5 years. They have been the dominant people. But, Hurd County has been consistent for a really, really long time. This is their 21st straight playoff appearance, right? They're trying to make the second round. They're 13-11 all time in the round of 32. And so, they just have a history of winning the first round, doing what they need to do to get to the second round. And, hey, it could be fun right here in West Georgia because if they can get to the second round and our Rebels up in Tallapoosa can get to the second round, we're going to have another rematch. So that'll be
could
fun.
Be interesting.
We're not going to go there yet.
No,
let's go 1-0 tonight. Let's get 1-0 one more time.
We can talk about that night at the Red Zone
We'll
tonight.
talk that at the Red Zone.
That's right.
So Hurd County, they've been dominant all year. They look great. Coach Lassiter has those guys playing hard, and so I fully expect a big win tonight for them. They've got the rankings and ratings have got them projected to win by 27. So I think they're going to take care of business, and they need to. They need to be. Here's what I see. They need to be fresh. They need to be crisp. They need to feel like everything is clicking the way it's supposed to click because it doesn't get easy. They're in the side of this bracket where they've got, if they win tonight, they've either got Harrelson or Social Circle. Then they go Dublin's right there waiting on them, or Fitzgerald's right there waiting on them. So they got some teams that are in that side.
There's a lot of traditional programs in that division that are on that left side with Hurd. And you look at the bottom part of that left side bracket, and then you're sitting there with Swainsboro, sitting there with Toombs, Northeast Macon, who played for it last year, lost to Toombs in the final. So there's some talented, deep football teams. So,
that's right.
But first things first, you got East Lawrence tonight. Then you'll see what happens after tonight. You'll know whether you got Harrelson or Social Circle.
That's right. Hey, you're listening to the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show under the Deep South Roofing broadcast tent. We are only 2 games in, Coach. I guess we got to keep moving. We got a lot to cover about. We're going to go to a commercial break right here real fast, and when we come back, we'll continue the Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. We'll see you after this.
Employee benefits shouldn't crush your bottom line. That's why it helps to have a local partner who really knows our community and your business. At Inoventive Benefits Consulting, we help local companies save on their healthcare spend. Marcy Heath, your neighbor and local benefits consultant, will make sure your employee benefits work for you, not against you. Call 678-821-3508. Rethink employee healthcare with Inoventive Benefits Consulting. Local solutions, proven savings.
The days are getting shorter and the temperature's dropping.
But that doesn't mean your fun in the water has to end.
Brown's Pools and Spas is the premier dealer of Bullfrog Spas in the metro Atlanta area for your trusted pool and spa provider since 1974.
From loss. Rainwater Funeral Home is a family business, so we understand the importance from loss. Rainwater Funeral Home is a family business, so we understand the importance of giving each and every family we serve the level of attention they deserve. Rainwater Funeral Home on North Carroll Street in Bowden and online at rainwaterfuneralhome.com.
Leaky faucets, broken pipes. Is there anything more stressful than problems with your plumbing? When your plumbing drains you, call the best, Addison Smith. The licensed professionals at Addison Smith Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing are available 24 hours a day to service your toilet, water heater, sump pump, faucet, clogged drains, and any other issues you might have. Don't flush money down the drain. Call locally owned and operated Addison Smith, 770-832-9006. Online at addisonsmith.net. Addison Smith, giving you more since 1954.
Let's get back to the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show.
Welcome back to the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show under the Deep South Roofing broadcast tent. Brought to you by Inoventive Benefits Consulting in Bremen. Measurable and proven strategies to take your employment benefits plan to the next level. We are in the Carrollton City Schools Regional Breakdown. Carrollton City Schools, character, courage, and community are what we are all about. Want to learn more? Schedule a tour today. I am sitting here with the coach, David Thrower,
the journeyman coach,
also known as DT. We're filling in for Mike Paris tonight, and I am Jay Webb. We're so glad you joined us. Keep joining us. Say if you got Facebook, radio station, YouTube. If you've got questions, post them on Facebook. We appreciate what you're doing and tuning in tonight. We're going to keep on breaking down. So let's look at Villa Rica and Northgate. We talked about this a little bit to start. This is a rematch from earlier in the year. Villa Rica sitting at 5-5. Northgate sitting at 8-2. That was one of those regions that was wonky where you had Langston Hughes up front and then three teams that were in a three-way tie, and it kind of just where they fell. But if you're Villa Rica, you feel really good about this. You played them to a 12-9 score earlier in the year. I believe that was week 2, maybe.
I think it was. I believe it was.
So, you played really, really well against that team. You came off a big win against East Paulding to secure the third-place seed and not have to go to Langston Hughes. And so I think if you're Villa Rica, you are okay with where you are right now. So what's your thoughts on that game, Coach?
Yeah, it's kind of like we said about Bremen going to Pepperell. I think Villa Rica's in pretty good shape here.
Right.
And to be honest with you, athletically, looking at Northgate as compared to Lovejoy and Noonan, I think if I'm Villa Rica, I probably like the Northgate matchup. Now, here's Northgate. Coach Kevin Whitley came into Northgate last year, had a rebuild. Coach Whitley's a long-time veteran coach. I looked up some of his stats today because I've known Whit for years and years.
Yep.
He's won 170 games in 20 years.
Wow.
In 4 different schools. He's had 3 losing seasons as a head coach. All 3 was the first year at a school.
Okay.
So he knows how to build a program. Last year he's 2-8 at Northgate. This year he's 8-2.
Yeah.
And he did that at Creekside. Was the only school he came in that was already kind of pretty good.
Yep.
But when he went to Stockbridge, they were horrible. He got in there. His first year's 2-8.
Yep.
After that, he started winning 8 or 9 games. Pretty soon he's playing deep into the playoffs, winning 11, 12 games. And now he's trying to do the same thing at Northgate. Northgate will be a solid team. I saw actually they were on TV late in the year when they played Langston, and I actually saw part of that game. It was kind of in between our deals, and I went home for a little bit and I watched maybe a quarter and a half. Northgate will be a well coached. They'll be physical. They'll be in the right spot, but I don't think they're just going to overwhelm Villa Rica athletically. Like some of these other teams in 5A are capable of.
Yeah.
Villa Rica's going to come up. They've won the last 2 games going into the playoffs. They beat Kennesaw Mountain. They beat East Paulding. Had a huge win against East Paulding. Had kind of a gut check win against East Paulding to give you a little more confidence. And kind of like Villa Rica, this extra 2 weeks helps them too because they're continuing to still build their program.
Yep.
Coach Barron's finishing. He's in year 3. And you're wanting to play as much football as you can because a part of the key to success in high school football is getting to the playoffs every year. It's not just the extra games.
That's right.
It's the extra practice time for all the kids in your program, especially the young kids. So Villa Rica's in a good spot, and the fact they go into Northgate tonight and they've already played and lost a close competitive game to Northgate early in the year, and they were still trying to find their identity early in the year, Villa Rica was. They kind of felt that identity, somewhere around mid-season, started playing really good football. Weren't playing bad early. They just started playing a little better. Things kind of shifted, and I think we won 5 out of our last 7 games.
Yeah.
So you got to feel pretty good if you're Northgate. Again, I mean, if you're Villa Rica, again, you got a rematch. You lost the first one, but it was close.
That's right.
And, hey, I don't mind my chances on Villa Rica. I really don't.
That's right, and you feel good. I think one thing we've saw with Villa Rica all year, their defense has been pretty solid all year long. And you were really just kind of waiting for some consistency with the offense, you had Matthew Eubanks, first-year quarterback. You're coming off of Will Wallace, who was, phenomenal. Matthew Skinner driving by in his golf cart, honking the horn. Ellie Pritchard, sideline reporter here, is getting ready for Friday
night. The next Lauren Rutledge
The next Lauren Rutledge. But you're feeling good. I called that game against East Paulding, and man, the offense looked good that night. They felt like they had a little bit of an identity. And I tell you what you hang your hat on. I was looking at these numbers. If you're a numbers guy, Villa Rica is sitting at 5-5, but they had the 7th hardest schedule in Class 5A this year. They played some dudes. They played some non-region games that were tough, and they really competed in them. And,
we talked about that all early in the year when they started out 0-3 because all right, first game was Troup County, who won last night.
Yep.
So they're 10-1. Northgate, who's 8-2, and then Central, who's 10-0, playing the first round.
That's right.
So yes, they played 3 very good football teams to start the season.
Seventh toughest schedule in 5A were Northgate. Not taking anything away from them. They played the 29th hardest schedule. So if you're Villa Rica, you don't feel like you're coming into this game with no shot. And I know Coach Barron's going to have them ready. This is their second straight playoff appearance. They most recently made the second round back in 2021, and they're sitting at 4-4 all time in the first round. So I'm feeling good for the Wildcats tonight. I'm hoping that they get them a win, and man, let's keep on marching into round 2. Let's go keep moving through the Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. At Carrollton City Schools, we expect excellence in every person, in every program, in every performance. We go for gold. So let's talk about this one near and dear to your heart, Troutland County at Mount Zion. What's your keys to the game in that game right there, Coach?
Well, I think Mount Zion has been off since October 24th. They had an open week in the last week of the regular season, and obviously everybody was off last week, so they haven't played in 3 weeks. So you don't want the rust to settle in on your armor there when you go out. So I think for Mount Zion, they need to get off to a fast start.
That's right.
They need to come out there and kind of establish themselves early. Troutland is a good matchup for Mount Zion, but I say that because I think it's evenly matched. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Troutland's head coach came from Cedartown a couple of years ago, so they're going to be a wing T team, which Mount Zion's going to be familiar with going against the wing T, because Mount Zion was a wing T school for years, kind of just recently kind of more evolved to more of a spread type deal, but at the same time, they've coached against the wing T before, which is going to be favorable. Mount Zion's defense has been pretty solid all year.
Right.
They had a couple of games where they had some letdowns and had some fits and didn't go right, but they've played pretty well for the most part. They're missing a couple pieces tonight that they would love to have. However, I think they've got enough bullets in the gun to beat Troutland, but Troutland is not going to come over here and roll over and play dead.
That's right.
And they hadn't been in the playoffs a lot at Troutland.
That's right.
This is one of their first times in several
2009.
years. Since 2009, so it's been a while.
Yep.
So none of these kids have been in the playoffs at Troutland. So this coach coming in at Troutland's got to feel pretty good about where his program's at now, because they're starting to trend upwards. Right. But at the same time, they're the ones that got to make the long bus ride. They got to make the trip. Mount Zion at home. I like Mount Zion's chances. It's going to be a tough game. It should be a close game. I think our computer prognosticators, and I'm not near enough smart enough to figure all that out, they called the game a straight toss-up.
Straight toss-up.
So, if somebody want to know what was Mount Zion's chances tonight,
straight toss-up.
Literally, the ratings have it set as a toss-up. I like Mount Zion at home.
Yes.
I like the Eagles at home, so I think they got a chance to advance. So I'm going with Mount Zion tonight. And like you said, it's close to my heart. I spent the last part of my career there, and I'm sure pulling for those guys and those kids out there in that community.
No, Troutland's having to drive a total of 170 miles to get here. So
Soperton, Georgia.
Yep, you're hoping that the home crowd, Mount Zion's going to show up. Beautiful place to play football on a Friday night.
Great setting.
It is a great setting.
Yeah, I think Troutland will be impressed when they see the facilities.
If you're in Mount Zion tonight, man, get out, go support the Eagles. Looking at 7-3 right now, wanting to go 1-0 one more time, get to 8-3. And let's start this march in the playoffs. Now, it's not going to get easy for them. After that, they got to most likely travel to Early County. But, hey, let's worry about tonight
Talk about
first.
that in the red zone.
We'll talk about the red zone. Let's worry about tonight.
We got the Troutland County Vikings rolling in tonight,
That's right. Let's talk about the Vikings. And so, hey, man, Gordon's going to have those guys ready. Knox Israel has had them on his back all year long. I saw a write-up on him a couple days ago, just what he's meant to that team offensively, defensively, through the air, with his legs, just the general on the field. For the
He's a winner. He's a really high-character kid who's a really good player. but he's probably even a better young person.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And you want that guy at quarterback. That guy's is he controlling your offense for you on the field? He's like a coach on the field. So
that's right.
No, I got a lot of respect for him. He was a freshman my last year there, and he's a great kid. Different in the sense of just very mature for his age. You know what I mean? So, he's a big part of that success.
Well, there's a lot to break down. Man, we're in the Carrollton City Schools Regional Breakdown in the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show underneath the Deep South Roofing broadcast tent. Deep South Roofing. Don't be taken advantage of by these out-of-town roofers. Trust the only hometown roofing company from inspection, repairs, replacements, and insurance claims, serving our local community in West Georgia and East Alabama. Deep South Roofing, dedicated, dependable, and a proud sponsor of high school sports. Let's get into our broadcast games tonight. We've got 4 more games to break down. We've got about 30 minutes left to do it, so we can get into these a little bit more. We're going to talk about the game that's going to be on King Country tonight. That's 93.7 or 101.9 with our guy Tex and Hayden Coker at Taylor Memorial Stadium. We're talking about the Social Circle coming to Haralson County tonight. You've got Social Circle, the number 17 seed, sitting at 6-4. Playing Haralson County Rebels, the number 16 seed, sitting at 7-3. The team's first meeting, and man, this is a big win for Randy Crutchfield and what he's done, going from 3-7 to 7-3.
Right.
I mean, what a huge turnaround for those guys. Paxton Ray has been Mr. All-American, it feels like, especially the second half of the year, and so those guys are feeling good right now. So talk about that game a little bit, Coach.
Well, I think these two teams are kind of similar from this standpoint. Social Circle does not have a long playoff traditional history, much like Haralson. But in the last 7 or 8 years, Social Circle's program's gotten better, and they've been more of a consistent playoff team. Haralson hit an all-time high a few years ago, had a little bit of a lull the last couple of years, but now they're back, and I think they're in good shape right now. Haralson's played good football all year. Even the games they didn't win, they were in. Like, they competed with Hurd.
That's right.
And they had some things go that night against them, but they competed with Hurd. The Putnam game, they probably felt like they should have won that game.
That's right.
The Pepperell game at the end of the year, they were right there. You're talking about a team that easily is just probably 4 or 5 plays from being 9-1.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, so I really feel like Coach Crutchfield's done a good job of that program. Those kids are playing hard. They're buying into what he's selling. Haralson at home again. I like the home team in the first round, but Social Circles, they're going to come to compete, and they play in a pretty good league over there too. So it's not like they haven't seen good football teams. Right. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. This is not quite a longer trip. This is straight down I-20 pretty much. Probably about 90 miles, I'm guessing, maybe 100.
I got your distance, Coach. I'm ready for
I
this.
know you're on top of this game.
Man, we got
97.
88 miles.
88, I was off by 9.
88 miles, straight line trip.
Not far, straight on I-20. So the Social Circle program, like I said, not a long history of playoff football, but in the last last 5 or 6 years, because they just transitioned up. They were a Class A school for a long, long time.
Right.
But that area, I think, obviously picked up a little growth over the last few years. And they're a city school system, too.
That's right.
A lot of people don't realize that. So
right.
they kind of made like Bremen. Yep. It's a smaller school system, but it's a city system. So
that's right.
I think that's going to be a highly competitive game. But I like Haralson at home. And I think they got a chance to ride that wave. And you never know. Like I said, you're playing free football right now.
Right. And you said it. You alluded to it a little bit. Just for the numbers' sake, Social Circle this is their 6th straight playoff appearance. So, and they're riding a good streak right now over there. Now, I will say this: they most recently made the second round in 2022, but they're 2-12 all time in the first round. So they haven't had a lot of success in the first round, but neither is Haralson County. They're sitting at 1-6 all time in the round of 32.
14 trips to playoffs in the last since '96.
Yeah,
but they've had 6 in a row. So
yeah,
this has been their best run.
That's right. They're on a run.
Their
right
best
now.
run. So
they're going to come. But I tell you what,
and they'll have some athletes. They'll have some kids.
And what I like about Haralson County, as you said, they have not been in a game.
No, they're in there. They're going to fight, scratch, claw.
Yeah.
They're going to get the most out of those children they can.
Right. That's right.
And that's a credit to not just those kids, those coaches, but those parents and those families those kids come from. Because when you got high character kids that are willing to go out there and play at that level and play with the effort and physicality and being coachable doing all the things it takes to be successful.
That's right.
You got to feel like you got a shot every week. Even if you're a little bit outmanned sometimes, you still got a shot. You never know. And like I said, Harrelson's in a good spot right now. I think that program, they're back on the upswing.
I do too, and I think they're going to be ready again. I mean, 3 losses this year. Heard County and Pepperell, both 2 really good football teams, and they hung right there with both of them. Putnam County was a close game.
Oh, when I last played a game.
Yeah, and Pepperell was what? They were up 35-19.
Yeah, that was just one of those seesaw back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth.
Could have gone either way.
So, man, they have been there in every game. They're gonna. I have no doubt. If you're listening, Cornbread. Did you know they have their number 1 fan's name is Cornbread? Cornbread. Don't that sound like a number 1 fan?
We need Cornbread to call in tonight.
Cornbread. If you're listening, call in. Alan Starling. If you're listening from Harrelson County right now, and you see Cornbread tonight, tell him that we expect him to call in to the Red Zone show.
And we got some Harrelson County callers.
We do.
They're probably the most faithful callers.
Brandel, you tell Cornbread to call. Maybe Brandel and Cornbread will call together.
Hook up, man.
Cornbread has got a cowbell that's about the size of a football. And he's real loud with it right there in Taylor Memorial Stadium.
And that's okay.
That's right.
That's what you go outside on Friday night for, to make a little noise.
Yes, sir. Cornbread, we love you. You're a faithful fan, my friend. You get those guys fired up out there. So excited to see what the Rebels do tonight in Tallapoosa, Georgia. So make sure, again, just like Mount Zion, if you're around, if you're a Harrelson County fan, you haven't hosted a playoff game a whole lot. And so, man, tonight's the night. You get to be the only one of these 9 schools at Mitch Gray's favorite field, because he says if a cow can't eat off of it, football shouldn't be played on it.
Absolutely.
And so, man, Harrelson County, the only school in the area with real grass, and so maybe that'll make some of those athletes from Social Circle trip up.
And if you go to the game tonight, you may get Randy Patterson may give you an autograph.
Maybe so.
You never know.
You
never know. There's some celebrities up in Tallapoosa, baby.
There are definitely some celebrities. Hey, we have got 3 more games to break down for you with the Carrollton City Schools Regional Breakdown. At Carrollton City Schools, we expect excellence in every person, in every program, in every performance. We go for gold. We're going to be right back with the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show under the Deep South Roofing broadcast tent. We'll catch you just in a few.
What if you could turn your healthcare expense into a competitive advantage? At Inoventive Benefits Consulting, we engineer benefit strategies that cut costs by 30 to 40% without cutting the quality your employees deserve. Put control back in your hands. Stop overpaying. Start outperforming. Let's make your healthcare plan work for you, not against you. Call 678-821-3508 today. Inoventive Benefits Consulting. Smarter benefits. Stronger bottom line.
When you need the job done right, trust your neighbors at Burt Disposal Services. Burt Disposal has been providing West Georgia homes and businesses with roll-off containers since 1996. Their team is professional, dependable, and can be on site with a 10, 20, 30, or 40-yard roll-off container for your next commercial or residential project. Construction debris, yard waste, don't get hurt, call Burt. To learn more, call 770-826-6789. Online at PurtDisposal.com.
Evergreen Tree Service and the Barn Store are teaming up once again to spread warmth this winter by distributing new coats to children 16 and under, sizes 2T to 3XL in limited quantities. Parents or guardians, to qualify for a free coat, bring your child or child's birth certificate, plus proof of government assistance such as free or reduced lunch, SNAP, WIC, or Medicaid. Join us at the Carroll County Rec Department on Noonan Road, November 22nd from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. Because every child should feel warm, cared for, and loved this winter.
Are you tired of these out-of-town roofers knocking at your door? Are you tired of seeing their cheap signs on every corner? These companies have sold their souls to the big private equity companies and are not here to help you with your roof. They just want your money. Stay local with West Georgia and East Alabama's most trusted roofing company, Deep South Roofing Company. Whether your job is commercial or residential, put your faith in a company that invests in your local community. For more, visit DeepSouthRoofingCompany.com.
Now, let's get back to the Tailgate Show with our broadcast crew under the Deep South Roofing Company broadcast tent.
All right. Welcome back to the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate Show under the Deep South Roofing broadcast tent. Also brought to you by Addison Smith Mechanical Contractors, Amy Brown State Farm, Brown's Pools and Spas, John Thornton Cadillac, Buick GMC, Pert Disposal Services, Rainwater Funeral Homes, and Evergreen Tree Services. We are moving right through the Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. We're going to go ahead and move over to across town a little bit from where we're sitting right now on Great Classics 98.9. Seth Kane and Michael Miller will be bringing you the Tucker Tigers at the Central Lines, the Battle of the Cats tonight. And so we got Tucker that's sitting at 6-4. Central Carrollton is sitting at 10-0. Tucker's the number 4 seed from Region 5, and Central is the number 1 seed from Region 3. Coach, this is the team's first meeting. Tucker's 19th straight playoff appearance, but they have not made it to the second round since 2017. So Central, obviously, big expectations this year. Really riding just a good, powerful offensive season. I'll say this real quick before I give it over to you, just to celebrate. I was trying to look and see some of the regional awards that have been given out, and I was able to find some of them. I couldn't find all of them, but man, they're looking pretty good over there at Central. Player of the Year in Region 3 in Class 4A was quarterback J.R. Harris. The Offensive Player of the Year was running back Jonas Walton, and then the Coach of the Year was none other than Coach Umbra Brown. And so he is doing an incredible job over there. There's a ton of those Central guys on that all-region team. We wouldn't have a chance to go into all of them, but man, Central's got big expectations tonight. But Tucker, always going to have athletes.
Tucker is probably, again, better than an average 4 seed. Tough region there, and there were Marison, St. Pius, and I think it's Lithonia, maybe Stevenson. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
no, I think Stevenson may be AAA. Either way, they're in there with some good folks. Tucker's going to be very athletic. Quarterback, from what I understand, I talked to Coach Brown Tuesday. Quarterback's very athletic. He's got some wideouts. He's got some weapons. He's got a receiver. They're going to have some players. Now, they're not the Tucker of old.
That's right.
For years and years and years, I'm talking going back from the 80s and 90s and 2000s, they were a proud historical program that was one of the best in the state, not just in DeKalb County. They had a great run. Right back 2016 was kind of the end of that run. You said 17 was the last time they advanced to the playoff, but 16 they played Valdosta for the state championship, lost a close one. But Tucker will still have some players.
That's right.
And there'll be a lot to contend with from the athletic standpoint. What Central has going for them is they're kind of a complete team.
That's right.
They can run it. They can throw it. They got a good kicking game. They're solid on defense. They got a good coaching staff. They've been in the playoffs. They were second round last year, third round the year before. They know what playoff football's like. They're playing at home. Again, I think that's a big, especially in these early rounds. I like Central tonight. I like Central to win a solid game. I don't think it's going to be one of those deals where you just turn around and hand it off and go 85 yards, though, because Tucker's going to have some guys. I don't think you're going to just turn around, drop back, and throw it and complete 9 in a row. They're going to try to have somebody get some pressure on you, and they're going to try to do some things. And Tucker's got some athletes to do it with. But at the same time, Central's a more complete team. Central's going to be just a better – right now they're in a better spot. They're program-wise. So I look for the Lions to come out big tonight. But I think they will have a test.
That's right.
That's right. And that's what it should be. Everybody's in the playoffs for a reason.
And Central, if you're not worried about this, but the two teams that are going against each other, Tucker played the 45th hardest schedule in Class 4A, and Central played the 40th hardest schedule in Class 4A. And so, Central hasn't played a whole lot of competitive games because they've just whooped up on people so much. And so, you want to be crisp tonight. You said it. They're a complete team, especially offensively. But, man, that defense has been really good too.
Right.
And so, but I know this about Tucker. I know Coach Lonnie Jones really well from FCA camp. He has brought his football team no matter where he's been. That guy has those boys disciplined. He is a disciplinarian coach. They are always some of the most well-behaved. Any team we've ever had of Coach Jones's, man, they're going to come in and they're going to be ready to play football tonight. So if
they're proud. They got a proud history.
They do.
Tucker's played a lot of good football.
They have. And so Lonnie Jones is a great guy, and so, man, I know that's going to be a good football game. If you need to know, Maxwell Ratings has got the Central projected by 25, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a good football game over there tonight on Ronnie Birchfield Field. So we're going to keep moving through this so that we get to everybody. Next up, we're going to talk about the game that will be on B92 Country, brought to you by Britt and Doc, and that is the Wilcox County versus Bowden game. Coach, what's your initial thoughts on that one?
Well, I talked about this at the top of the show when you asked me which game I was probably look forward to the most. I think the Wilcox-Bowden game has got a potential to be a sneaky good 1-4 matchup.
Okay.
And I say that because I know the type of football that Wilcox plays in that part of the world. And we talked a little bit about their team earlier, how they are a 4 seed, but they're not really a 4 seed. To be honest with you, Wilcox probably could have won 2 or 3 of these regions, and Wilcox is certainly they're really a 2 seed because the guy I talked to, he said, Coach, this is the second best team in that region.
That's right.
And the team that won the region beat them in 5 overtimes. So Wilcox is going to get off that bus. They ain't going to have a bunch of Rudy Poos. They're going to have a bunch of good football players. Now, if you're in Bowden right now and you're listening to this, don't have a coronary heart attack because I'm hyping up Wilcox. Wilcox is a playoff program. They've been 8 years in a row.
8 straight playoffs.
And this guy that's on the head coach now was on the staff, his first year as head coach, but Coach Stowe had put together a number of winning seasons. This guy was on the staff, got the job, and obviously he's doing some good things. They got a good football team. Played a tough schedule early. Clinch and Wilcox Clinch and ECI were 2 of their non-region games. Wilcox, proud history. Nick Marshall played at Wilcox.
That's right.
Won a state championship. They played for one in 07. I think they had 2 brothers or cousins. I think one of them went to Nebraska, the Denards. They have played good football through history. The difference in this game I see is this. Wilcox is a small Class A. They only got like 280 kids, 300 kids in the whole school. They're going to dress about 45, 50 kids. Bowden's going to dress about 65 or 70. And you're going to say, well, you're going to put 11 out there. Well, why is that different? Well, here's the difference. Wilcox is something happens to a kid on Wilcox's side, and he has to go out of the game. You got to find a backup from offense, defense, and special teams. That's one guy is 3.
That's right.
For Bowden, they got enough kids. They can kind of rotate. They got kids that play both ways at Bowden, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But they're starting on one side, and they rotate on the other side. Wilcox has some kids that won't leave the field. So I think the depth favors Bowden. Now, the weather's not a factor anymore. Usually depth becomes a play early in August and September. But still, though, you lose a kid. And then, I'll tell you something else, too. When you got kids that can't come off the field, you got that DB out there and you need to adjust something in the secondary. You can't always get him to the sideline to talk to him or that defensive lineman, you can't get him on the sideline to talk to him because you can't get him off the field because your backup is a ninth grader who's probably not ready. So it's just tough when you got those lesser numbers. Also, Bowden, much like Central, they can run it and throw it. They're very good. They can beat you either way. Most single-A teams aren't built that way. Most of them are predominantly run. Maybe every once in a while you see a predominantly throwing team, but most of them don't do it equally as well. Bowden's going to run it and throw it equally as well.
That's right.
Line of scrimmage is good. The kicking game is good. So Bowden is just a solid program. They know how to win, playoff experience. They've played the clinches. They played early counties. They played the Irwins. They played the Sly when Sly was loaded, Manchester, Clinch. I mean, they played all these teams in the past. So Wilcox is not going to shock them. But when Wilcox gets off that bus tonight, they're going to think they're supposed to win.
That's right.
So this is going to be a chance to have a good game. And Wilcox is going to bring a lot of fans. That Rochelle, Georgia, Abbeville, Georgia, they will show up for the Wilcox Patriots tonight. So I look for a good game. I think Bowden will win, but I think it could be closer than expected.
Okay.
I mean, closer than most 1-4 games.
That's right. And I would say, Bowden's getting a chance to start something that's I don't know how many times it's been done.
Maybe twice.
Maybe. But Caden Prothrow has a chance to go get 4 state championships. He's been on every team. And that's I don't know that there's anybody that can say that. There may be a couple players out there that won 4 state championships in football, but they're making that march tonight. But as you said, both of these teams are kind of battle tested. I'll say this, and then we'll move on to our last game. Wilcox County average score is 34-17 against the 20th hardest schedule in Class A Division II. So they've played some teams, and then Bowden's average score is 44-16 against the 5th hardest schedule.
Right.
And so, as you said, this is usually a 1 versus 4 seed, and you're like, oh, man, those are blowouts. But the Maxwell ratings tonight has Bowden only by 16.
Right.
And usually when you look at 1 versus 4, you don't see it that close.
Well,
so,
you look at Bowden's 2 losses. They lost to Hurd.
That's right.
Who's number 1 in the Class A Division I power ranking. And they lost to Fellowship, who's number 2 in the private school bracket. So
they play some
that's
teams.
their 2 losses.
Yep.
So that kicks that, and that shows you right there. One, they're not afraid to play good teams, but second of all, they're battle tested too. So I look for a great game. I look for a great atmosphere because I really think Wilcox is the kind of folks they'll travel. I'm pretty sure they'll not, no knock, but there's not that much to do down in that part of the world.
That's right.
I mean, they drive an hour to go to Walmart, and they drive an hour to go to a restaurant, or 45 minutes to go to a restaurant. Cordell or Tifton or Warner Robins or Perry, they got to go somewhere it's got a menu other than a chalkboard. And those are still one of the best eating places in the world. Don't get me wrong, down in that part of the world. Trust me, I've been there. But Wilcox will bring people. Those folks are fired up. They're going to be excited, and it should be a good football game.
That's good. Well, hey, we're going to keep moving right here through the Carrollton City Schools Regional Breakdown. Carrollton City Schools, character, courage, and community are what we're all about. Want to learn more? Schedule a tour. For our last game of the night, we are sitting here at Grisham Stadium. The man, Cade Perrion, has just walked up. Welcome back, my friend. So glad to see you here. Man, just what a journey, what a story. And thankful for God's protection on your life, my friend. We're going to talk about North Forsyth versus Carrollton. That game you can hear right here on KISS 102.7, brought to you by Cade Perrion and Larry Evans, the two most prepared guys in the game. And so he's ready. Cade is ready. He's got the notes.
Probably need to let him get over here and do this.
Yeah, he
probably needs to do this breakdown. Come on, man.
We know what we got. This is the team's first meeting. North Forsyth's first playoff appearance since 2023. They made the second round in 2022, and we know what we have in the Carrollton Trojans right here. Joey King is always going to have his team ready. 11th straight playoff appearance. They've won the first round. This is an incredible number. Has won the first round in each of the last 10 seasons. So that is that's a culture right there, brother. That's a tradition.
Yeah.
That's a program.
Yeah, no question.
And so, man, just before I pass it over to you real quick, more accolades over here in Class 6A in Region 2. Zakai Helton was awarded the Player of the Year as an offensive and defensive lineman. Running back Cam Wood was the Offensive Player of the Year. And then we have the Iron Man Award was given to Peyton Zachary as a wide receiver and a return guy. And then, of course, Coach of the Year was Joey King. And so, man, good things happening over here. Coach, tell me what you think about tonight's game.
Well, Carroll, North Forsyth, if you're in the 6A playoff in the state of Georgia, you're a pretty good football team. You're not a bunch of Rudy Poos getting on the bus to come over here and play. So they're going to have some guys who can play. They don't have anything to be ashamed of what they've done this year. Now, Carrollton is a different animal. They've got, like you said, a long history of winning football, especially in the playoffs. They're extremely well coached. They got plenty of good players. They got weapons on offense. They've got guys on defense. The kicking game, it is a total program from the ground up, all the way from the feeder program, from the sixth grade water boy all the way up to the superintendent of schools. Everything's lined up in Carrollton, and they're all on the same page. And that's what makes them unique. Okay, they're unique to a lot of people around the history of the state. This is one of those premier programs that has been for a long time. With that being said, this edition of Carrollton has got a shot to make a deep run. This is another one of those years, and I fully expect them to come out tonight. And they're going to come out fast tonight too. They're like everybody else. They've been wanting to play for a while. 2 weeks have been off, and they ended on a high note this year. Had a great Game 10 win against Douglas County in the region championship game. So you'd like to keep playing to keep that momentum going, but I don't think that's going to affect them at all. I think Carrollton comes out tonight. They're going to take care of business. North Forsyth, they'll play hard. They'll compete, I'm sure. They got a coach experienced over there. They know what they're doing, but I just don't know if they got enough bullets in the gun to stay with Carrollton.
That's right. Man, Carrollton knows how to win in the first round. We talked about they've won 10 straight first round, but even probably more impressive is 26-2 all time in the first round. They've only lost the first round twice. That is, my friends, that's what the gold standard is all about right there. And, I think looking at this team, let's talk X's and O's for a minute, man. They, obviously we've talked about this almost every week, man. You lose Julian Lewis, who, man, had a great week at Colorado, finally got his first start out there.
Yeah.
You lose a guy like that. But, man, just for me, they look like more of a complete offense this year than they have the past couple years. And I think that's just kudos to the way that the coaching staff has managed to balance a true two-quarterback system with Cypher and Holzclaw. Cam Wood has just been out of nowhere, just Offensive Player of the Year. And man, at the first of the year, didn't even know if he was going to start. And so he has been a great find for the Trojans. And I just tell you, man, they they look good in all three phases of the game. And so, if it matters, they're predicted to win by 44 tonight. And so they'll be ready to play. And so I think the Trojans will get it done. And they – listen, we know this. If it were me, I believe that there's probably, when we talk about Central, we talk about, in my opinion, in Class 4A, there's probably, 7 or 8 teams that are really good in that classification.
Probably 7 or 8 that could be capable of getting to the final.
Yeah, and I don't see that in 6A as much. I think there's 3 or 4, and Carrollton certainly has its name in that. And
I think so.
Just so you know, just a little trivia as we make our way and get ready to close this thing down, as we've just wrapped up the Carrollton City Schools regional breakdown. Somebody sat down and did this week just to play with the numbers a little bit, but they went in each classification and broke down which teams were predicted to have the best chance to win it all. So for 6A, give me your top 4 in that one, Coach.
To win it all?
Not by our Homer standards, but by by what Georgia high school football
say Grayson.
All right.
Buford.
Yep.
Carrollton.
That's right.
I'm going to go McEachern.
You got it. This guy, that's why he is the coach.
No,
that's the perfect.
I actually didn't know that going in, but, it makes sense. It's
Grayson,
common sense.
Buford, Carrollton, McEachern, those guys are predicted to have the best chance to win this thing. Want to know who in our area is predicted to be the number 1 best chance to win it? Which team? According to these guys.
Well, I won't say Bowden.
Bowden's
because they're the 3-time champion, and you got to beat the champ to beat the champ.
That's right.
So I don't think I'm like that's the old boxing.
Yeah, got to beat the man.
I grew up watching Muhammad Ali and George Foreman and Joe Frazier. And Marvin Hagler and Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. You're gonna beat a champ. You got to beat the champ.
If it matters to you, Bowden is predicted number 1 chance. Our guys down in Heard County, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 best chance. I don't believe that. They're the number 1.
They're in the mix
team. They're in the mix of this. I believe Central is certainly in the mix as well. And they're up there toward the top of that list. And so, man, that's exciting when we talk about high school football, man, to have so many of these teams that are getting ready to really, truly make a run. One last trivia question for you, Coach. I got 2 things. This is a part of my I didn't have anything else to do when I started looking this up. But which game tonight is the furthest distance apart? I'm going to ask you that one, and then the closest.
I'm cheating because I read that.
Oh, you read it, Coach.
It's Pearson. I think Ringgold.
Yeah, Ringgold at Pierce County.
I can't lie. I can't act like I know that one. 339 or something.
298-mile straight line. It's probably 300-something driving.
I think it is, yeah. I've been to Blackshear, Georgia.
Yeah, 298 miles straight. And then how about the closest game?
I saw that one too. It was in the same. It was Harrison Marietta.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
Yeah,
Marietta, I saw that.
Yeah, Marietta at Harrison. Man, we'll talk about a first-round playoff atmosphere. 5.7 miles apart, those 2 schools.
They're
playing tonight,
and they're close, and they've been Cobb County rivals. Well, Marietta's a Marietta City school, but they're located in Cobb County, so those 2 have knocked heads before. That should be. And the winner of that one plays Carrollton next week, providing Carrollton takes care of business.
That's right. Well, man, it's exciting tonight. If you don't have anything to do after the game, make sure that you tune in to the Red Zone show. Man, there's going to be a lot to break down. Playoffs, we've got our brackets here. We're ready to do a little bracketology and see what next week shapes out to be. But, man, it's been a fun night with the Inoventive Benefits Consulting Tailgate show under the Deep South Roofing broadcast tent. Brought to you by Inoventive Benefits Consulting in Bremen and Villa Rica, the Benefit Consultants. Beyond the Status Quo, also brought to you by Deep South Roofing. Don't be taken advantage of from these out-of-town roofers. Trust the only hometown roofing company. From inspections, repairs, replacements, and insurance claims, serving our local community in West Georgia and East Alabama, Deep South Roofing. Dedicated, dependable, and a proud sponsor of high school football. Coach, it's going to be a fun night.
I'm looking forward to it. You know what? I'm pulling for 9-0.
9-0.
Imagine going 9-0 tonight.
Man, let's see what we can do.
We're sitting here next week having the same conversation.
Let's go. It's going to be
a
good night.
Baby.
Thank you so much for listening. Hey, right after this, you're going to listen to the Coach's Corner. You're going to hear from all 9 head football coaches and what they have to say about their team and their matchup this week. Thank you so much. Have a blessed week. We'll see you next time.